I'm Giovanni from Alembic, the creative drinks agency that specializes in design, development and marketing of quality drinks education and beverage experiences. Alembic and ICCA Dubai together brings to you Cocktail Zero, the art of alcohol-free design drinks. Our certificate programs in dry mixology and bartending showmanship are designed not only for inspiring bar professionals working in the industry, but also for the serious enthusiasts interested in learning the art of mixology. Come, introduce yourself to the fascinating and soul-stirring world of alcohol-free designer drinks.
Good afternoon and welcome to ICCA Live, World-Class Culinary Online. This week, we are back with yet another interesting session in the series of dry mixology and bartending, the outdoor theme, gardens and pools. Without further ado, I would now hand over to our host, Shanaz Raja, Director of Courses at the ICCA Dubai. Over to you, Shanaz.
Thank you, Karan. Hello and welcome back, everyone, to our 7th exciting webinar in the series, Dry Mixology and Bartending. A very quick run through on the topics that we have completed thus far. We started with tools of the trade, then went on to methods and technique, then choosing the right glassware, and then into the categories of cocktails, rather mocktails in this case. In the categories, we started with aperitifs, food pairing, and infusing tea and coffee into your cocktail zero. And today, it's about beating the heat with alcohol-free, refreshing drinks for your next brunch, lunch, pool party, or maybe if you just like hanging out in the sun. Our previous webinars are available for you to watch on YouTube, and if you cannot find them, let us know and we will guide you. For those of you who are with us for the first time, a quick intro on Master Mixologist Giovanni Depagola, fondly known as Mr. G. Mr. G has over 20 years of experience in the beverage industry in Europe and the MENA region, and he is also the co-founder of Alembic, a creative drinks agency which specializes in training and education. During this session, Mr. G's questions to you will pop up as polls for you, and if you have any questions for Mr. G, do type them into the chat and I will take them up with him for you. Without taking more of your time, over to you, Mr. G.
Great, fantastic. Thank you very much, Shanaz. Thank you. And Karan, thank you for the intro. Brilliant. And thank you to connect yet again with us. Beautiful. Today is all about outdoor theme. So we're going to talk about pool and garden. What a great time. I know that we are based in Dubai and probably this is the least time when we enjoy our outdoor because the temperature slightly higher, but I'm sure if you're connecting from anywhere else in the world, you probably have slightly better temperature than what we enjoy at the moment in Dubai. Our time will be pretty much when October we're gonna start to enjoy. So as Shanaz already mentioned, exactly, we are here today is one of episode that we dedicated to the category. So we really started our category understanding the beauty of the Cocktail Zero recipes, getting the aperitif, then we move into the food friendly, then we had the teas and coffee, and today we go with the outdoor. Now, at the very beginning, we did the intro of the episode. We go back and understanding the very fundamental of the mixologies, because this is what we do here in ICCA at the school. Our dry mixology course really goes from the fundamental, and then we take you through the entire journey of the wonderful alcohol-free design drinks. So what we do here, understanding a bit of what exactly we're looking when we're talking about the outdoor cocktails. As mentioned, it could be a garden or could be a pool, because we like to have a bit of a difference there. And at the end, when I say garden, could be your wonderful terrace outside. If you live in an apartment, if you're living in a wonderful townhouse, if you're living around a villa. So really, that's the great part of having the outdoor. Now, when is the outdoor sessions happening? You know, we all enjoy and gathering together. So there's a lot of things that when we do the cocktail sessions here, we like to really pass the message, to teach our guys to go into details, understanding. One of these is really the simplicity, you know, really get the simplicity of the cocktail is very important. At the end, if you are a host at home, you want to have your guests have a good time. If you are a bartender that are hosting definitely an event or a party, or in your bar, if you have a wonderful terrace, don't forget, people when they are in this environment, so we talk about the garden, by the pool, we are very relaxed. And yes, we have a time to actually wait for our service to come, but don't forget, we need the speed is beautiful because we are thirsty. When we are outside, really, the first thing you want to do, you want to have a drink. So very important that the style of the drinks that we're making is very refreshing. You know, it can be definitely a bit of fruits, always most welcome. Carbonation is most welcome. You know, hint of sweetness, why not? So there's an element that we can see. Historically, outdoor cocktails are made with the punch, you know, nice. So a lot of fruits inside. So the sangria, for instance, is great. For sure, they are cold. We don't serve hot drinks outside when people want to refresh. However, we can have that discussion later because I can see that I personally, you know, if you have a good, nice tea outside, even if it's a good weather, you know, a bit of a hot, don't forget to really have your body temperature balance. So that's another session we dedicated to the herbal spices and everything. So what is good, important to understand the outdoor is that definitely when is the feeling that we're going to touch. So when people are arriving in our bar, in our terrace, they would like to have that really a welcoming, and the welcoming should be really, really fast. So 1, 2, 3, ready to go. Now, what we're going to do here today, I will ask a couple questions. So we have the usual couple polls, and then by the end of the session, we're more than happy to take all your Q&A, all the questions that you have for us, all related to the session today. So today is all about outdoor. We're talking about garden and pool. And then whatever we cannot answer through the day, we will get back to you by our email. So feel free to share your email address through the chart that you will see on the right. Well, without further going into details, I will take you through more what are the flavor profile we're looking for. What is nice to know is exactly what probably you maybe think, because I've been mentioning a couple of things. I want to know if you really capture something today. It's very important about the outdoor. Shanaz, I think we have 2 polls today. I would like to throw one right in the middle now, if we are ready with that, because I would like to know how really we're connecting with our guests here through the webinar. Let's see. So do we have a poll?
Yes, so the poll is, when looking to create an outdoor cocktail zero, what flavor should we look for?
What flavors, yeah? So what are the 3 flavors we say?
Floral and bitter, fruity and carbonated, sweet and creamy.
Okay, interesting. I will check on my screen there. So we can see that fruity and carbonated goes all the way. Floral and bitter is a bit slow. And then we have even slower, then we have the sweet and cream. Interesting. Let's see. I think the poll is going, okay, is moving. Excellent. So I think everyone went for fruity and carbonated, and the other 2, the floral and bitter, I think it's pretty much is 50-50 there between sweet and creamy. Now, this is interesting. Let me ask you, if you look through the history of cocktails, one of the most flavors that we all know is the Pina Colada. So it's not a Pina Colada, sweet and cream. So how do we stand there? And then if we also look about the, let's say, sangria outside, a sangria normally is a wine base, can be without or without the alcohol. And then it has that hint of, you know, a bit of citrus, a bit of a bitter. And then also the floral, because you probably will use some fresh fruit, normally peach element. So what I'm saying here that, of course, all of them are most than welcome. So this was a tricky poll for you guys to see what exactly here are we capturing. Because when we are talking about an outdoor, the bitterness, it can be perceived in a different way, because bitterness normally stands on the tongue right at the back. But sometimes people have a misperception of a bitter, could be the sour, so they also think at the back. And bitterness brings also a bit of a freshness at the same time. So don't forget. So and the floral notes, the peach, the apricot, those are all very floral. Not to say that we have a great recipe we're going to show you in a minute, which has rose. So rose is a beautiful ingredient we want to use when we are outside. Why not? So then we have the second, we say fruity and carbonated. Absolutely, no carbonation is most welcome. Fruity we can be. Watermelon, absolutely 100%, one of my favorite through the summer, along with the pomegranate and all those wonderful summery flavor that we all recognize. And then we looked at the third one, the sweet and creamy. Why not? A good, nice pineapple juice with a bit of a coconut there. It's a great cocktail to be drink outside. So this one was a tricky for you. I like to see that you guys got a bit of a always, belonged. So interesting, very good. So Shahnaz, did you like that? Did you like this poll with me and everything? Yes. Where is Shahnaz? I saw her on the camera there. Somewhere appearing.
I'm right here. I'm right here. It's just that I need to switch off my mic so that there's no echo. That's all.
I know you're very kind because you're always interacting with a lot of questions. So thank you, Shahnaz. Don't worry. So what we'll do, let's go to the recipes and let's actually see what is our first recipes of the day. And there's a wonderful, actually, cocktail zero recipe that we're showcasing. And as mentioned, is the one with the rose lemonade. Now, this is super cool. There we go. It appears on my screen here. Then we can see the rose breeze. Why not? When we are outside, there is always a breeze. And why not? Imagine to sit on a wonderful garden with full of roses around. This is all the perfume that will come. We have the raspberry. The berries are always must welcome when we do the rose and the berries. And then we have a yuzu. We'll talk about what exactly the yuzu actually is. And then we have a rose lemonade. So really simple recipe here for you. Let's have a look together. So I will have, this is actually the yuzu. Now, yuzu is a Japanese citrus. And when you actually smell, beautiful, it really smells between a lemon and a mandarin. So really has that citrus level of the lemon and the wonderful perfume that coming from the actually lemon. So it's quite citrus. Now this one we always use really careful because it really can unbalance our cocktail. So we gotta go really by the recipe here. Always need to balance. So you go the 5 milliliter, 10 milliliter. If you go above that, you gotta be careful because you can overpower your cocktail very easy. And then we have the raspberry. Raspberry, I love it because then they have so much going on here. It's wonderful. You can see the floral notes are coming. So raspberry is always one of my favorite to use when we have to combine with the wonderful raspberry lemonade. So here we have, now I will have the raspberry lemonade here. Let me open this. And interesting because this one we're going to have serving in a rocks glass. So as per the picture, we're going to serve this in a rocks glass. And the glass of today is pretty much this one. So that's what we have. So let me have a look now. I will actually start putting the ingredients inside. So the raspberry with the rose lemonade, I will say a 10 milliliter of yuzu. Very interesting. Then I would like my cocktail today to stay more on the pinkish. So I will just put 5 milliliter of the raspberry. But if you want, you can actually have 15, 20 milliliter. This raspberry puree is 100% fruit, so will not really go adapting. It will not change too much the actually final flavors because, the more you increase it, the level of sugar is very low in this raspberry puree because it's very natural fruit. So there's no like a syrupy style. So if you play with 15 or 20 or 30 milliliter, you're just going to increase really the flavor of the raspberry and not the sweetness. So very important to remember on this one. Now let me add my ice here. So yuzu, one of my favorites for sure because it's a great substitution if you don't want to use the classic lemons or lime. So you guys, if you have a bar which is more into, I will say, Asian concept or close to Japanese, you can actually go for something like the yuzu, for instance, is very most welcome. So we have a nice Fentimans rose lemonade, great night. I love the smell that comes up here, really, really nice. And then what we do here is a very light, gentle stirring together. So it's a super simple. And then we're going to actually, you can see here, the color is nice and pinkish, quite mixing with the raspberries and the yuzu and the rose lemonade. There we go, beautiful. Now the garnish on this one is very interesting, because what we're going to have here is normally we will have a bit of a greens. We can do it. We can put some, I will say, definitely some of the, we have the option, the picture with the cucumber, so really works very well because it gets the freshness. We can put red currant. We can put a bit of berries. Now today, the one I choose, because I'll always look a bit of a seasonality, I like to garnish with a nice cherry to start with. And then, of course, why not with our beautiful roses? Those are dry roses. I will put them here one by one. Now, in this case, the roses, they don't really going to have a particular flavor to the actually cocktail, but they really go for the entire, really slowly they're going to release that. Now, to finish on this, I would like to add a bit of an orange zest. Now, a touch of the citrus in here, it will really, because we say that the yuzu works as a very close on the nose with the mandarin, and the mandarin and orange are pretty much our cousin. So this is what we're going to have here. Let me put the cocktail here so you guys can actually see here. And this is what we are really talking about, a nice cherry. Let me move the cherry here a bit on top so you guys can see much nicer. So this is what is it. If you bite into the cherry over here, then you will get the nice and sweetness. And then you have the roses. Those are perfect for really to releasing the aroma slowly. And then we have the nice citrus. So really excellent cocktail. Let me have the breeze on here. So let me see the rose breeze, how it tastes. Oh, I love the citrus and the rose that come in. Oh, nice. Oh, this is nice. I like the yuzu. It gives the kick, and the raspberry is quite soft. Excellent drink. I really like it. Very easy to replicate, as you saw. Is that pretty much 3 steps: 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I will say that I will put this on the side for the moment, and I think we have another poll now. Shanaz, do we have another poll going on at the moment?
Yeah, we do, and it's on.
Okay.
The most common glass that's used when serving an outdoor cocktail zero is?
The most common glass. So now this is for our friends that have been watching all the time. They've been watching all our different episodes, and was one specific to glassware, where we really discuss about what exactly is the purpose to use a straight up glass, like a Martini and a coupe, or a wine glass, or a rocks glass and highball. So let's see what our friends, they say in the connection here. So we have a rocks glass, 50%, highball. A wine glass goes very low. Okay. Interesting, this. Very interesting. So let's see here. Highball, rocks and highball. People are fighting. So let me see. This was another tricky question. So normally we will have our outdoor nice cocktail serving into a wine glass like this. So nice, can allow all the fruits and the carbonation. So superb. In this case, what we do here, I can see you guys went for rocks and highball. Now, rocks glass you saw now, and this is something that pretty much is what we say. We show you a rocks glass is the most welcome, and highball is the most welcome. In this case, I want you guys, when you run outdoor, everyone fancy a flute or a nice one. So a glass with a stem is really good. Today I've been tricky with you, so I like you guys can respond. I want you guys to always think, thinking outside the box. Don't believe everything what Mr. G always tell you, because we always trick you. And I want you guys now at this stage, starting really get understanding what is the beauty. There is rules, but you can break the rules with the principles. So very important. Now, so this is our glass of our cocktail. We're going to make it. And this one, Shanaz, can we show on the screen the actual recipe that we're going to showcase? I think this is one of my favorite recipe. It's so simple and so tasty. Why? It's called an apple spritz. So definitely we will showcase. And a nice organic apple juice. Then we have a fresh lemon. Then we do 3 droplets. So we have a bitter, no alcoholic bitter that we are using. And with this case, very floral and very really herbal. So Darjeeling and chamomile. And then we have a very unique flavor. We have the guys from Giffard. They made this wild master. So very interesting, very floral and very herbal. So just a touch of that. And then we're gonna finish it with one of the 2 tonic that there's a cool brand, Franklin. The guys in UK, they're really good. Very interesting flavor on that. And I have 2 of them. So let's see how we can finish. Now, let me grab the technique on this one. We're gonna shake it up. And do not forget, we never shake it with the carbonation. So we're gonna put all our still ingredients first, and then we're going to add our carbonation at the end to top it up. Now, this is pretty much what we're going to do. Now, a cool, beautiful, organic apple juice. Now, in this case, this is a good size of a wine glass. And I think on our recipe there, we had 120 milliliter. You guys can, in this case, I'm putting around pretty much under 20. This is a good size because I want to have a very nice fresh apple, so very refreshing. And then at the end, I want to have a touch of the carbonation that will go around. So this is the nice apple juice is gone. I will do one thing now. I will just put this on the side because I would like to squeeze the nice fresh lemon juice. And we go. And you can see that pretty much. And normally a good half lemon, depend on the size, you can get anything between 15 to even 25 milliliter of the lemon juice can go. So really, it's a quite fruity, interesting. So the other ingredients here is the droplets, and I'll show you here. So we're going to pick our fantastic, nice bitter. And now I really like the smell and the aromas that come in, and I will put 3 to 4 drops. This is really up to you how you would like to use it. And one ingredient, super tricky, as I mentioned, is this one, is the Wild Master. So it's a super herbal, and this really can change our cocktail to be quite, because it's a syrup at the end of the day. Don't forget, we want to play with the sweetness there. So let me put this just a touch. It's actually, we have a bottle here, so it's very interesting. It's called Wild Master. So it has a few herbal tones there. So super good. Well done for the guys here from our friend from Giffard. We really like it, just a touch. I really like the way it works with the apple. So in this case, really, the cocktail is pretty much ready. We have the apple, we got the lemon, we got the bitter, so the Darjeeling and chamomile, and we got the lemon juice. We just missing the Oshizaki ice, and we're going for a nice, cool shaking here. Now, go. Excellent. Ooh, I love it. Now, you probably saw this, I'm doing all the time. I'm always smell this. This is what you guys always should do. When we start a product and when we're finishing a product, feel free, always smell. Train your nose. That's the most important thing. We should never forget. Our nose can pick only by memory. We cannot reinvent flavors. So you should always train your nose to go back and really to recall everything. So the cocktail is ready. What we have here, I will just prepare our garnish, which is very interesting. I will go with our nice apple, because we're using the apple. Lovely, nice style. Always there's a different way. We can probably have a session dedicated to the garnishes. And what you can see here, we can either cut straight, so that is it. It goes into the glass. Or the easiest way is when you guys go like this, and then you do a nice cut slowly inside, because what we want is the apple. This is one of the cocktails that you guys can actually prepare before. So you can actually prepare before. You can actually, what we normally call the pre-batch. So you can actually have everything inside a nice bowl or carafe, or you can, or your favorite vessel there, and you can leave it. So what's going to happen? Then you can have all these together with your liquid, and then pretty much it will let the apple to marinate it, so you get really nice flavor by the end. So it's very, you can actually eat it. So that's the concept, to have the fruity, nice floral idea. Now let's get the ice inside our cocktail glass, which is a nice wine glass in this case, and then we will have to top it up. Now here I will go with either, let me see what we have here. We have a pink grapefruit, very interesting, with the bergamot, or this one is actually with, is a rosemary tonic. So very interesting, which also have a black olive. So personally, probably I will go for this one for today, because I think the rosemary will work very well also with one of the garnish that we are going to do. Yes, I have my bottle open. For the moment, I think I lost it. And we will have a mixing in these. So why we do not put inside here direct, because we want to have pretty much everything ready in our shaker. And then, you know, this is already done. And then we're going to do into the glass. Beautiful. Now, the garnish here is definitely one of my favorite, and here we go. So this is the apples inside. You can see the frothiness is there, and this is in a kaffir lime leaves. Kaffir lime leaves. What kaffir lime leaves does, it releases a lot of flavors when you actually going and crush the leaves. Very well used in Asian cuisine, and you cannot imagine the flavor of the limey and these that goes into together. So what we do here, so here we have the fruitiness of the apple, and then we have a bit of the citrus of the lemon, and this is pretty much our cocktail. So it has the everything that we're looking for. And should I finish with something? Maybe, I don't know, I think is enough. Or maybe, no, we used the cherry before. So I think the cocktail is pretty much ready, because we have all the apples there and everything. So I really look forward. I will show you on our short camera here, so you guys can see in the front. You can pretty much have a look, see how everything. So we have the apples inside. You got the green on the other side. So really, really nice. So that's a very cool way out to serve. And again, it's very simple, because at the end of the day, what we just did is pretty much is an apple juice. Nice. The quality of the ingredients we're using. I will have now my, oh, this is what I love it. When the garnish became functional, the kaffir lime leaves really enhanced that freshness. The herbal of the Wild Master syrups really works well. Now let's have the taste. Oh, now when I mentioned bitter before, so this is probably has a bit of a bitterness, because and the citrus element. So bitter and sour, apple juice, nice organic green apple juice, superb, which is not sweet at all. And then I think the tonic water really makes that elegant touch of the herbal, and then if you left a pre-batch, your apple and everything with the fresh apples and few ingredients inside, you will probably go and taste the apple because the apple absorb. The kaffir lime gives a very nice dimension because you're finishing with that. Well, I think this is a great cocktail. And what do we call this cocktail? I think I don't remember the name. What do we say about this name? It was apple spritz. Yes. Apple spritz is actually called from a famous Italian cocktail. Beautiful. Let me go the other cocktail here. This is what we did today. Let me adjust the garnish just for our friend Tom, if you just connected now. Shaz, do we have questions related to all outdoor team today?
Yes, we do. And Akshay wanted to know, actually Akshay's question has gone down, so I'll start with the one on top.
Okay.
What I'd like you to explain to them is what is a bitter and what is tonic and where they can buy these things. Maybe you can show them the bottles.
Yeah, I mean, this, okay. Now, those are, I mean, tonic water, you find different brands. Today, we're using Franklin & Son. At the bar here at the school, we have different tonic water, different brands we work with. We're not affiliated with anyone, but depend on the recipe. We feel that really we work with something closer to the other. So tonic water like these are available to different suppliers. If you're at bars or restaurant, we always share all our suppliers through the private chat, so feel free, we can connect. And then the same, like those bitter selections, those are quite unique. Those are is a Spanish brand, and the guys are here from Droplets, they always do. So bitters normally alcoholic, and this one are no alcohol, so very aromatic, very interesting. Always used by drops, as per the actual name is called Droplets, and it's very interesting because really with the 2-3 droplets you can really change and modify the entire cocktail based on your flavors profile. So you're gonna get used to work on this, but this is what we talk about, a high level of mixologist here, because you can really play with the different flavors, and unless you really mastering the art of how to modify the spices and herbs that can give you the same flavors, but that takes a bit of a longer time. So that's the idea. Thank you for the question. I really like it. Thank you.
And how does, the reason I'm asking you this question is because somebody wanted to know if you can use fresh rosemary and not rosemary tonic. So I want you to tell them how tonic water can change the flavor of your drink. Okay.
Good question, this one. Absolutely. In this case, we've been using the tonic water, which was already, let's say, flavored with rosemary. But you guys, if you have a classic tonic water, feel free just to put a rosemary inside. If you do that, I always suggest give a nice toast. So if you have a blowtorch, really toast the rosemary, and you can go inside your glassware. That's sometimes we do in our, we'll say, a gin and tonic style of a cocktail. So definitely you can use a classic tonic water, which has a nice bitter flavor of the quinine, which is from the quinine bark. That's where the main ingredients is. And then you can use thyme, you can use definitely, I will say, rosemary, you can use tarragon as well. So feel free really to use all the herbal stones that you prefer to have on your flavor, and based on the concept of your bar. That's the main thing. Thank you.
Just a quick question from Tembalani. Tembalani, okay. I will send you all the links, but Mr. G, Tembalani wants you to just mention all the different categories of cocktails.
Different category of cocktails, okay.
Yes.
Well, for people they connected, thank you very much for that question. We started with the aperitif, so we did the aperitif style, then we did the food friendly, then we did the teas and coffee last week. Today we will talk about the outdoor, and next week is going to be about tiki style, so something completely different than what we saw so far. Very interesting, and so stay tuned with us until next week, because that will be our 5th category. That's the most up-trendy as we in this historical moment, because there is also another historical time when the tiki came back. So very interesting time there to talk about next week. Thank you.
So lemon and mint is a very popular combination that everybody uses. But Akshay over here would like to know, can you give him a suggestion of something light and not too sweet with mint?
So a recipe light, not too sweet with mint.
Yes.
That is very simple, you know. If we imagine we are at home, we open our fridge, and what we find is just like a mint, and maybe we have our citrus, maybe we have some sparkling water. That's already is a great the fridge doesn't look that bad as we think. So what you can do, having thinking that carbonation is always most welcome. So if you look for something refreshing, what you do, you get your citrus. If you have a lemon or lime or an orange, then you cut them in wedges. You can squeeze, leave inside the nice carbonated sparkling water, and then you put the nice fresh mint inside together. So really that is a very simple way how to create a nice outdoor cocktail if you can. If you really have a love of spiciness, if you have some coriander seeds at home, and if you really be more, I will say, if you are into the mixology look and feel, you get your coriander seeds, you muddle them together, and then what you can do, you can boil them for with some water, just for a few minutes, I would say 5-6 minutes, and then that same water will have no sugar, of course, and it will have all the flavor of the coriander. You can mix that together, and you will see you will enjoy. So you can have a bit of a nice, that cilantro feeling into your recipe. So enjoy that, and if you do, let us know. Share the picture as well. Share the picture.
Okay, just one quick question for you. It's a private question. How can we make a pulpy fruit like mango light and outdoorsy?
So how can we make it a pulp from a mango?
Make it light, make it into a light drink.
Okay. Well, you see, mango exactly is a very fiber. So when you, probably cutting the mango, eating the mango I like it because you have to use your hands. You do the tartar style. So you open, you really get, but you have all these fibers. So it's quite pulpy. I agree. The best way is a bit long way, but then if you really want to have a bit of a light, you can blend together with a bit of a water. So you make it light. And then you can actually have the puree. Now, what is happening there? You really, if you want to have a double strain, don't forget, it's a bit of a long process there, but because the fine strain, it can be very thin or a bit slightly bigger. You go for the slightly bigger one, and then you can actually strain the actual juice, and you can leave the pulp. Now, at the same time, I always say, when you do that, keep the pulp, because the pulp is really rich on fiber, so it's good for our body. When we digest, we don't only get the fructose, but it really works very well with our body when you get the pulp. So if you want to make it much more lighter, you just add extra water. So just do a bit of extra water till it gets more into, instead of mango puree, you will get a mango juice. So in that case will become very light. And a squeeze of lemon is most welcome. Mango really takes a lot from a lemon, really enhance a lot of flavors. And if you are into spiciness like chili, a pinch of a chili also will do. I'm sure you guys will experiment, like really, and also some salt as well. So always keep low. Va bene. Shahnaz, thank you. Those are very interesting questions, very technicals, very technical. I like it. What else?
Okay, one last one, and I'm going to let you go. Okay, we have, Pina Colada is very common. Can you suggest another creamy drink for the summer? A similar creamy drink for summer.
Okay, this is nice. As we mentioned, Pina Colada is the king of the actually tropical creamy cocktails. There is really, you can imagine Pina Colada is the most replicated flavor in the world, because they did shampoo, they did deodorant, they did deodorant for the house, whatever you can imagine as a Pina Colada flavor. So in my case, if you look on the creamy style, I think it's always good. Nowadays, we probably we take advantage of so many different no dairy products, so which is good. So we have a lot of almonds milk, we have a hot milk, rice. So those are really great, nice. Also, we have a soya-based cream, very interesting. So if we're looking for something much more light than a coconut cream, that sometimes, unfortunately, some of the brands, depend heavily on sugar. But if you get a good coconut water, for instance, or just like a real nice coconut, you will not get. So if you get one of those, then you choose whatever fruits you would like to have. Your pineapple maybe with almond milk, why not? But also you have your apricot juice. Apricot really works very well. Also peach works very well with almonds, because all these stone fruits, they get together. So feel free to have it. Either you can use a blender, pretty much. You can do the blend as with ice, or you can just shake it. So very important that you give a very nice, fresh look and feel. And then you can garnish. As you see, we have a different style, but you can either garnish with the nice fresh fruits. And pretty much that's pretty much to stay light. Then, you know, there's all the recipes that we can always implement. Yeah. Thank you very much, Shahnaz. Those questions, very nice, very nice.
Lovely session, Giovanni. Who says you need alcohol to make a good drink?
Hey, absolutely, absolutely. That's what we do. Alcohol-free design drinks here in ICCA. That's how we like dry mixology. That's how we like Cocktail Zero. So, Shahnaz, if there are no more questions, I will give a nice wrap what we've been talking about today. If you allow me, are we okay to wrapping everything?
Yes, Giovanni, go ahead, go ahead.
Fantastic. So for the people that just connected now, today was all about the episode was dedicated to the outdoor team. So we talk about garden, the pool, the terraces, where you really enjoy your wonderful time when we actually relax. It can be by evening or by the day. Everything, of course, change when it's an evening and a day. We know that through the different episodes we saw when a cocktail really go and have to tantalize our palates and really stimulate our senses. So this is what we want to do. The outdoor here, the two cocktails we showcase. One is actually our Rose Breeze. We're using rose lemonade. We've been using Yuzu, a great Japanese citrus that has a very nice mandarin flavor with the raspberry. All together, they really make a very simple concoction. The other one was dedicated more on a sour level. So we're using a green apple juice, organic, with the fresh of lemon. And then we use a bitter of Darjeeling and chamomile. So very herbal, with the touch of sweetness from the wild musk syrup, which is a very herbal. And then we finish it with a rosemary tonic. So really, really advanced. This is a very high, really mixology skills here. This is one simple, this one required a bit of more technicality. Up to you guys from Mr. G, ICCA, and here from our liquid room, dry mixology, Cocktail Zero, happy days. Thank you for watching. Shahnaz, over to you. Ciao, ciao, and see you next week for our Tiki session.
Thank you, everyone. Really amazing, Mr. G. The knowledge was amazing. And we have more than 100 people with us in the room. And most of them now, I have come to know them personally, either because I know them already or through the webinar. And a special thank you to Zaida, because she wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, to be there to watch our show every Tuesday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zaida. Thank you, everyone else. Thank you. I cannot say all your 100 names. So thank you all very much for being there with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shahnaz and Giovanni, for this fantastic session. A quick note, you can download the recipes from the handout section. Also, an email will soon follow with the replay video of this webinar together with the handout as well. Lastly, we encourage you to recreate the mocktails demonstrated today and share them on your social media platforms by tagging Liquid Alembic and at ICCA Dubai. We look forward to seeing you for another interesting session next week. Until then, goodbye from all of us here.
Ciao. Salute.